0. All right. So we are live. Hello, everybody. I'm seeing already 44 people in the room. We're expecting a lot of people to be joining in the next few minutes. People in the room, would you mind using the chat tab just to let us know that you're seeing us and also that you're hearing us well? On the right hand side, there's you normally have two tabs, one for chat and the other one for questions. Oh, we also activated emojis, so you can use emojis as much as you want during this webinar. Excellent. Thank you very much. So we had 150 people registered for the webinar, so we're expecting more people to join. We're going to wait a few more minutes, maybe one more minute, and then we'll get started with our content for today. If there's anyone on the batch or piano team, can you start? Can you also ask some question in the question tab, so we make sure questions are received, people can upvote them, and we can take them at the end. Okay, cool, excellent. So let's carry on. So, hi everybody, welcome to this webinar that we're holding jointly with our friends at Piano. I am here today with Vincent BRACH, who's the head of sales for many EMEA countries, being France, Benelux, Northern Europe. He will introduce himself in a few minutes. I'm also joined by James, who works at BRACH, sits in the London office. He's in the UK currently, and also ROMANO, who's a solution engineer in our team, and she's been working in the back end with the Piano team for the last 9 months to deliver the cool integration we'll be showcasing live afterwards. So for this morning, we have a packed agenda. Vincent will start by giving us a short piano introduction, high-level introduction on what is piano, what piano does, and why the partnership with BRACH. I will then take over, introduce BRACH really quickly. We will then dive into a really cool case study we did with Le Monde to explain the early insights that led us to this partnership. Then we'll showcase a few use cases, and then we'll go to the BRACH dashboard, and James and Leah will give you guys a full demo of how to connect the two dashboards and deliver those use cases, and how to bridge digital subscriptions and CRM. Vincent, do you wanna take over, introduce yourself, and
I would love to.
And take over? Cool.
I would love to. Thank you so much, Simon. I'm very honored to be able to introduce that discussion today. As Simon said, we're very, very excited about what we delivered jointly with Piano and BRACH. So let me just tell you a little bit about Piano as a company, about what we do, who we do it for. And I'm going to talk to you about a product in particular called Piano Composer that sits with the integration that we developed with BRACH, this first iteration, because we're not going to stop there. And then we can dive into the matter of it. So first, about Piano. So the story started 7 years ago at a moment where publishers were trying to monetize their content online beyond advertising revenue. So Piano became the first provider of Paywall solution originally a long time ago, 7 years ago. And from then on, we started to tackle user management, subscriber management, e-commerce optimized for subscription. Then we extended our footprint to become expert in the first-party data collection to power also advertising revenue for publishers. And more recently, we also made some work to be able to optimize content push where users are on social media more and more nowadays. And last but not least, with the acquisition of Piano Analytics, ex-AT Internet, we are now also a powerhouse for web analytics. So we serve more than 600 enterprise customers and way more. We've 15 of our offices and 650 employees. And Piano now represent the tracking, the analysis of more than 10 billion unique devices every month. And we're very proud to work for some of the most successful leading brands in publishing and beyond. So Piano is powering either subscription strategy of those brands, advertising strategy of those brands, or be the single point of truth for the web analytics data. In a helicopter view, what is the promise of Piano? What do we provide to our customer? It sits around those 4 areas. One partner and one platform to collect centrally data that you can trust. Tools to translate those data into insight and customer understanding. And what we're going to talk about today, especially, is how to segment those data, to activate those data, to build user journey, to personalize the experience on each and every segment of users. So what is the tool we use to activate those data and build personalization journey? It's called Composer, Piano Composer, which is really at the core of the platform. So Piano Composer will ingest all the data collected on the audience, behavioral, technical, content-related data, and give you the ability to segment those data. So Composer has more than 100 segmentation out-of-the-box segments. Some of them are machine learning based, so that can predict the likelihood to do something, the likelihood to subscribe, to register, to return to the website, but also some content-related machine learning profile, likelihood for some content to convert to subscription. So anyway, you can use those segments and decide to focus on pockets of your audience. And from those segments, build user journey, what we call experiences. So that from this segment, you can show a particular message at a particular time in a particular way. And a lot of time, those user journey and those messages, the purpose is to convert. Convert can mean a lot of things. That can mean I'm trying to get people to disable their ad block. I'm trying to boost the opt-in on my newsletter. I'm trying to convince people to create an account. Of course, also convincing people to pay for content, to become subscriber, but also to be retained when it's time for renewal. So all of those conversion points is what we excel at, so that you can monetize your audience to the best of your ability. And last but not least, Composer has a very, very powerful A/B testing logic so that you can always improve on every of those use cases that you put in front of every segment of audience, so you can always get better and better and better. So that's what Composer is. So I've been presenting Composer for the last 4.5 years, mostly to publishers. And what's very apparent to me is that it's very much best in class as a tool when it comes to activation on site and in apps. But now we know at BRACH and at Piano that the needs of the publisher is to get the user where they are. And unfortunately, they're not always on the website and the app. So we need to get them through email, through SMS, wherever we can get them to come them back to the site. And that's where BRACH excels. And that's why I'm really, really excited about these initiatives, because now we can join mostly, the two company and the two knowledge to be able to interact with the audience wherever they are. So we found a very good compatibility technology-wise between Piano and BRACH. But what we also find in BRACH is an expert in the publishing industry, such as ours, but on areas that we don't excel at. So together, we have a very deep understanding of the needs of publisher nowadays and going forward. And last but not least, on a personal note, what we also found is a human connection. I know that we really share the same drive and the same values. So I've been working with the BRACH team for the last few months, and I can say that I'm very excited also for this human adventure beyond technology and beyond serving the market. So with that said, let's get to the matter of it, and the stage is yours, Simon. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for the kind words, and it's entirely reciprocal, shall I say? So I'm gonna switch over to a quick batch introduction. Then I will dive really quickly in this Le Monde use case, because there are some interesting insights that I wanna bring up today, and then we'll go to the core of the presentation. So for those of you who are not familiar with BRACH, I'm going to go really, really quickly there. We are a customer engagement platform, messaging is our business: email, SMS, web push notification, mobile push notification, in-app messaging. We deliver more than 1 trillion messages every year, and 30% of our customer base is actually made of leading media groups and publishers. There's something really strong at the core of what we do for media companies, is that we have a product that works similarly well for newsrooms and everything breaking news delivery, but also for marketing teams and CRM teams at media companies. So we have a product that is very well suited to those organizations. We've been in business for 8 years, a little less than 100 people spread across Europe, and 350 customers at large. The promise of BRACH is very simple. We centralize your data, whether logged in or anonymous. We give you all the tools to design great messaging campaigns, and then we give you, obviously, the platform to deliver those messages. The core of the BRACH platform is its data platform, which lets our clients centralize their user data from anywhere and everywhere, from their website and mobile apps using our SDKs, from their backend using APIs, or from other tech, what we call pre-productized or pre-packaged integrations. When we see partners that have very valuable data, such as Piano, we build integrations that let our common customers have this data flow back and forth between the partner and us. Once the data platform is fueled with that data, then we unlock a large area of functionalities. The central one is what we call the user profiles. It is a global view on your audience, your readership, whether logged in or anonymous, and you can see all of their opt-in preferences. We offer our clients, obviously, a very powerful segmentation engine. We offer what we call campaigns, the ability to send one-to-many. So if you need to reach 10 million people over mobile or web very quickly, you can do this inside campaigns. If you want to set up one-to-one automations to onboard or deliver win-back sequences, we have another product we call automations that lets you build in a very visual way those journeys there. And then we have all the composition tools on the platform if you need to build. We have an email builder, we have push notification builder, and in-app builder. We also offer all the tools to actually build your messaging experience that you can also personalize and A/B test. I'm not going to steal the show for James and Leah, because we'll show you all of that live a little bit later. And then we have built in inside the platform, obviously, analytics features that lets you understand how your messaging is performing. And if you want to go deeper, we also have prepackaged integration with products like Piano Analytics. We're not going to be talking about this today, but we also have that in stock if you want to analyze the performance and the behavior of those cohorts once they've come back to your environment through messaging. All of this lets you do what we call lifecycle marketing, from activation to conversion to monetization. And since we work primarily with companies between 1,000 and 10,000 people, so really large enterprise accounts, we do this with the help of experts. Almost a third of the BRACH team is actually dedicated to supporting our clients. So we have a solution engineering team, customer success team, and a customer care team to support you guys on a daily basis. So I hope I wasn't too long. That was BRACH in a nutshell. And from there, I'm going to transition to this really cool use case, case study we released 1.5 years ago with Le Monde. There are many slides to this case study, so I'm not going to go slide by slide. I'm going to skip to the interesting slides and to the use cases. But I just wanted to remind, I think everyone on this call knows who Le Monde is. We power breaking news for Le Monde. We also power CRM and customer engagement. They're one of the most iconic French media, also now available in English globally. And they've been amazing partners. We've been able to run a ton of experiments. And they have this master plan of reaching 1 million digital subscribers by 2025, which we've been supporting for the last years with the platform. And I'm going to go to the use cases. I'm going to skip through the slides pretty quickly, but obviously we will be sharing those slides afterwards. And I'm going to go to the specific use cases we've implemented for them around readership, onboarding, on mobile and web, about helping them re-opt in their audience, pushing specific time-sensitive offers around their digital subscriptions, dormant reactivation, something we're really good at delivering for media customers. And obviously, I'm going to go to churn prevention and billing expiration prevention, because this is the crux of what we're presenting today. And those were really interesting early learnings we saw working with the Monde, that if we were able to automate messaging around subscription expiration and billing expiration, we were able to come up with what we call involuntary churn reduction that would be very significant. Sorry, Sarah. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to cherry pick on the slides, so I'm just focusing on some slides. But you will get the slides afterwards. We will share it. We will share the entirety of what we're showing today. So focusing on churn prevention and billing gave us the insights that led to the Piano partnership, because what we saw is that if we were able to have those results, well, what we wanted to be able to do is work with clients that had already invested in a digital subscription platform, that were already collecting all of that data, all of those events, and have them flow inside BRACH. So I'm going to skip to some slides as well, and I'm going to get to the BRACH and Piano part of the presentation, because those were the initial customer insight that guided us and led and brought us to what we're showcasing today. So again, the slide. Oops, sorry, I'm going really quickly. And so the question we ask ourselves when we started working with Piano a year ago is, okay, what if any media company could benefit from the same results using their existing implementation, by having all of that data that is happening before the paywall, during the registration process, and after flow into BRACH. And some of the insights that led us as well is that some of our customers were asking us. We confronted that with what clients were asking us, and that was specifically what some customers were asking, saying, okay, I have a paywall experience. There's a lot happening there, but on one hand, I have dropouts, people interacting with the paywall, but I'm losing them. Some of them are anonymous, others are logged in. But what I want to do is activate messaging for those readers. And there's everything that happens after the paywall as well. And I want to be able to communicate with those users there as well, even if they're not on my site or in my app. And so that led us to build this integration, which we're presenting today. And in a few minutes, I'm going to hand it over to James and Leah to show you live how this integration lets you build and deliver two simple use cases. This is the first one. It's a win-back campaign based on a paywall dropout. So what is happening here on the screen is, imagine you have audience reaching your paywall. They're interacting after having read an article, maybe a premium article, and they're not converting. You see that they interact with the paywall, but they're not going to the checkout. There's one possibility here, is that that person is anonymous, because with media companies, we all know that a large part of the audience is not logged in. But maybe that person has opted into web push. And what we see with clients for which we power web push notification is that as high as 20% of those readers will actually opt into web push, even though they haven't registered. So what we're able to do there with the BRACH Piano integration is automate a win-back campaign. Hey, you've read that article, you've went to the paywall, you haven't registered. Do you want to come back? That's very powerful. We see click rates. We see 2-digit click rates for those use cases, and we're going to show you live how to build them. And we have a second one, which works in a similar fashion, but with email. What happens there is, let's say the reader has gone one step further. He's actually created an account, but he hasn't performed a payment yet. What changes here with the second use case is that you actually have his email, and what we know is that email remains, by far one of the highest converting channel. So what you can do there is automate an email, which gives you more, real estate to actually win back the user. And those are, separate use cases, but combined, and once integrated inside the, I would say, the multi-step automation product that Batch offers, what you can do there is orchestrate a highly personalized multi-step conversion and win-back program for those audiences, to make sure you maximize every interaction that is happening before the paywall. And that lets you do one simple thing, which is the core of the idea of this partnership: is how do you put digital subscription management and data at the center of your CRM strategy. Before handing it over to James and Leah, for the joint customers of Batch and Piano on this, here on this webinar today, just a few reminders. So this integration is live. The activation is very simple, but in the backend, we've been working like crazy for almost a year. So there's a lot of heavy duty that's been done in the backend, so that it can be simply activated. It is live as of today. Everything will be showcasing in the demo can be activated tomorrow if you are already a customer of Piano and Batch. And if you wanna activate this, it's just a matter of reaching out to your respective CSM, and we can get you started as soon as tomorrow. So I've spoke a lot. Thanks for bearing with me on this one. And we're gonna go to the demo, because after slides, it's good to show product. James, Leah, do you wanna take it over from there, and take control of the screen?
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks very much.
Cool. And for the people listening, if you have any questions at this point, please type them. Vincent and I will either answer directly in the chat, or we'll start curating them and we'll take them. There will be some time, obviously, for QA at the end. So don't hesitate. We'll start taking the questions with Vincent. Cool. Thank you so much. James, Leah, the floor is yours.
Well, thanks very much. Go for it, Leah. Cool. So now what we'll do is we'll take you on a journey of how, in practice, media brands can combine Piano and Batch on a daily basis to engage with subscribers and grow your digital audience. So the way that we'll structure the demo is, first is we'll show you inside of the Batch dashboard. Secondly, we'll show you how to connect Piano and Batch in just a few clicks. And then finally, we'll walk you through how to set up and launch your first campaigns. So first, what you're seeing on the screen here is the Batch dashboard. So don't worry, this isn't the actual Monde account. This is a dummy data account that we've set up inside of the Batch dashboard for this demo. As you can also probably see, there's a miracle happening with the sunshine coming right on me at the moment in London. So from here, this is where operations, marketing, data, and editorial teams are able to manage all of their campaign and messaging activity. We've designed it to be intuitive and easy to use, so that getting started and sending your first campaign takes a few minutes. So what you can see across the menu at the top is the analytics. So this is where you can deep dive into how your messaging is performing. The user base, which is understanding who exactly is engaging with what. And then the campaigns and automations we'll show you a little bit later, but this is where you build and run the different messaging scenarios to start to send those messages out to your users. And finally, what we have is the settings. So this is like the control center inside a Batch. This is where you're able to maintain things like marketing pressure for your users, privacy, deep dive into customer profiles, and much more. So what we'll do next, let's jump into the Piano dashboard. So what you're seeing here is this is the Piano interface. Over the past 9 months, Piano and Batch have worked very closely together to build an integration between both platforms So that all you need to do today, as Simon mentioned earlier on, is activate the connection between Batch and Piano. And there's no need for you to develop or build any bridge yourself. This is all managed through the dashboard. So the next step might get a little bit technical, but I'm sure it's something that modern marketers amongst us, who are amongst us today, are very much used to. So what will happen next is Batch will provide you with a script that you'll need to add into the Piano dashboard. Piano has made this process really easy to do through the integrate button, which is located at the top right corner of the Piano dashboard. So all you need to do is copy and paste the batch code into the integrate tab that opens up, click publish, and then just like that, Batch and Piano have been connected together. So from now on, from that integration that you've just done there, all of the Piano event data that's stored in the platform, so all of those interactions that happen across either your website, your app, will be streamed in real time to Batch, enabling you to be able to go and create targeted campaigns based upon your audience. So we're now back in the Batch dashboard. Like Simon said earlier, the Batch dashboard is an engine that is fueled with data from multiple sources, and one of those include Piano. What you're able to see here is all of the Piano events that are being live streamed into Batch. So what these events allow you to do is to create campaigns, so messaging scenarios and campaigns to start engaging with your audience based upon actual user behavior and activity. So just as an example, some of the events that you can see on the screen right now, where you can see like Piano registration successful, Piano start checkout, Piano checkout complete. These are all real-time interactions that are sent from Piano to Batch that start to trigger the campaigns that we're going to talk about next. So what we've just jumped into here, this is the push notification builder inside of Batch. This is where you construct your campaign, so you can start to build the messaging flow. So the first part that we start with is, when do we want this campaign to begin? So we have one of those events that we've just seen that has come directly from Piano, which we've called the Piano registration successful. So this is the moment that a user has gone onto the website, they've created their account, and then Piano has registered that account as a success. What will happen in this example is after 1 hour of the user registering their account, a push notification will be automatically sent to the user. What you're now seeing below on the screen is the rich push notification builder inside a Batch. This gives marketers the opportunity to build powerful messages using dynamic messaging. So that could be like the first name of the user if you wanted to include that here, a last article read. You can even pull through like dynamic content. So for example, if where it says welcome in this image here, you could actually pull like the image of the last piece of content that the user read. We also go one step further with allowing you to add deep links, so you can track all of the interactions and metrics that happen. So once the user clicks this and goes back to the website, you can see in the deep link box there's a UTM tag which can be used to then track what happens with this campaign once they interact with it. We also include a powerful A/B testing capability. So if you want to test different ways to maximize your click-through rate and conversion, so being able to test different messages to see which has the highest interaction rate, to then choose a winner to then go through and have this rolled out as your primary campaign going forward. Next, we'll jump into the email sequence for a Paywall win-back campaign. So what you're seeing here is the journey builder inside a Batch. So this is a visual interface to create automated workflows based upon specific user events and actions. So what we'll do is we'll show you now how to use the Piano events to create engagement scenarios inside a Batch to activate your audience. The objective of this campaign is to be able to reactivate a user who started the checkout process but subsequently dropped out. So we want to win them back. So what you're seeing on the left-hand side here is where it says trigger event. This is a user who has started the checkout flow and the Piano event has been sent to Batch. What happens here is that after a period of time, which you have full control over, so in this example, we've selected 1 hour. If the user after 1 hour doesn't complete the checkout, then we will send an email for them to incentivize them to complete that checkout. So what happens here, and you can see on the screen, this email you're seeing here is a mock-up email that Batch has created for R&D. So this is just an example to show how it could work. The Batch dashboard includes a feature-rich email composer that enables you to build a drag and drop interface with personalized emails using dynamic content for each of the users receiving it. So what that means is you would create one email, but the content inside of that email will be personalized based upon the user that is receiving it. So for example, below here where you see learn more, the content that is showed here, for example, this could be customized based upon the favorite type of content that the user reviews and receives. So this is one way to build an email. We also have the ability to upload your own HTML templates into Batch as well. So if you're already doing that today, that's quite easy to upload a HTML and then use that as part of the sequence as well. So the content of every email can be hyper-personalized and dynamically shown based upon all of the user's activity, like I said. So that all pulls through, as you can see here. And it really is that simple to get up and running. So you can see within a few minutes of connecting Piano to Batch and then starting to build your first campaigns, all the work that Piano and Batch has done together over the last 9 months, we've made it a really easy way to connect both platforms together to start sending your first campaigns in a few minutes to start fighting paywall drop-off and grow your digital audience. The integration that you're seeing here is live with leading customers, and what we're starting to see is click-through rates of anywhere between 12 to 15% using real-time messaging that is based upon actual user activity. So everything that we've shown you here is a teaser, and we'll be sharing more on the conversion metrics at the Piano Academy in a couple of weeks' time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James. You have such a soothing voice.
On a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it was very, very relaxing listening to you. Thanks. And thanks for the great demo, and thanks, Leah, as well. We know you're pulling the strings on this demo, so thanks for that. So yeah, rewinding on what James just said. This integration went live a couple of weeks ago, actually a little more than that, but it's pretty recent. That's why we're also still sort of fine-tuning the right way to demo it. We are super excited to have a few Trailblazer customers using it live already, including R&D. For those of you not familiar with R&D's huge media network in Germany, they've actually been the first joint customer pushing the integration live. If you go to an R&D website, interact with a paywall, do not convert, you might receive a web push notification nudging you to come back. The early results in terms of click rates we're seeing are really, really strong, between 10 and 15%, as James said. And the next milestone for us, for Batch and Piano, is actually to showcase those results. We will be on stage live in a little less than 3 weeks during Piano Academy, which is Piano annual main event. It'll be held in Paris, 15th, 16th of November. I know a lot of you in the room today will be there as well. So I will be on stage with the head of product of R&D, and we'll revisit their strategy and expand on what we showed today. And yeah, all in all, I would say the bottom line is that how do we help our customers? How do we deliver a bit of a best of both world experience for really large media company, really large publishers that are all pulling through to their digital transformation to digital pure plays. And we think being able to bridge activation and retention like this with those integration is really can deliver a lot of impact and help the core business of our clients grow and with the right tools on a daily basis. So we're nearing the end of this webinar. We're obviously open for questions. If you have questions about piano, well, you have one of the best piano experts in Europe. Vincent is here. He's available for questions. If you have questions about BRACH, James and Leah can obviously take over. If you'd like us to follow up with you and revisit that demo, we're obviously available for that as well. Are there any questions in the audience? You can use the. I'm not seeing the question tab, so maybe it's not available. So you can obviously use the chat tab. I see people typing in. So we're gonna wait for questions.
I have to say, this is the first time I'm seeing that integration live, and it's fantastic. It's a great job. Obviously, I didn't have anything to do with it, the technical part, so it's always nice to see the finished product. But it was very impressive.
Yeah, actually, James and Leah, who should we thank on Piano's side for helping us deliver this integration? Because I know Leah's been working with a ton of people over the last year.
Yeah, mostly Anatoly on Piano side.
Cool, excellent. Thanks, Leah. So I see people typing. So we're gonna wait for the questions. Okay, we have a cool question from Jürgen. Can external events other than piano events used as a trigger? Who wants to take this one?
I can take. Or Lee, I think this is one for you to take.
If you want to. Yeah, of course, you can integrate a tagging plan if you want to collect data within your website or your mobile apps to trigger campaigns. We also have all other connectors with other tools that we can collect the trigger from.
Cool, thanks, Leah. Yeah, absolutely. Jürgen, I can maybe rewind really quickly through some of the earlier slides, explaining how to. Sorry for skimming through the slides really quickly again. Just going to get back to that slide earlier, which presents the way our data platform works. So there's two important things to remember. We have on one end batch connectivity, on the other hand the batch data platform. So batch connectivity, what it represents is the entirety of all the features we give our customers for them to pull in data into the data platform. So all of the data coming from user activity on the website inside your mobile apps is being fed into the platform through our SDKs. You can also pull in a lot of data from your backend using a very large area of APIs we have available, and also productized integrations like the one we just presented. So at the end of the day, the profile view that you have on Batch gives you a complete view on user profiles, user attributes, and user events. You even have like a live stream of user events for each user on Batch. And all of that data can be used to trigger any type of scenario, one-to-many, one-to-one. So pretty much everything you pull in can be then used for campaign triggers and also for personalization purposes. Joyce, if a user interacts with a batch delivered message, can that also be used as a trigger in Piano Composer again? So we have a breadth of technical questions for Leah. Leah, do you want to take this one?
Not yet, but we are currently working to develop more connector with Piano and through like Piano GMP, for example, so we can like share data to Piano also. Cool.
Yeah, something we didn't mention is that we have what we delivered is a V1.0 of that integration, but we have a really ambitious roadmap for the next quarters, and we're going to keep enriching that integration by adding feedback loop like the one Joyce just mentioned. So thanks for the really cool question. One more question from Sheila Lynn. James mentioned that in the email editor, you could personalize the email and show the user's preferred content, for example. Would this data on user preferences come from? Is this from Batch or from Piano user segments? And or can we use integrations with other tools like Google Analytics? James, do you wanna take this one maybe?
Yeah, sure. So the user preference can be stored within batch. So if you know like the category type or the content type that the user is looking at, what you can see on the screen here that Simon is showing now with the profile view, that information can be stored within the profile view within batch and then used to display in the email content. And then Leo, I don't know if you know on the Google Analytics piece or the user segments from Piano, whether that can be attached.
We do have also connected with Google Analytics, of course, but I'm not sure we can get the preference of the users through Google Analytics.
Yeah, I think the question from Sheila were around content personalization would be data pulled either from batches, data mapping capacities, or from a productized integration. I don't think we would be able to pull this out of Google Analytics. And to be frank, we do prefer Piano Analytics. I'm kidding. Cool. Thank you very much, Sheila, for the great question. We'll make sure to follow up with you as well on the specifics of that question, because that is something really cool that we offer, and also is very powerful. The ability to customize automations with last browsed content is something that obviously yields really good conversion rates.
Simon, I don't know if you can see the questions tab as well, but there's a few coming through on there as well.
No, go ahead. I don't see it, so I'll let you take it.
Cool. So Amir, your question is, if we want to download data from our API, would it be through Piano API or Batch API? So I guess, do you mean like the campaign analytics that we were showing you inside a Batch? If that's the case, then you could export any of the campaign analytics data from Batch with an API. So yeah, what Simon's showing on the screen here, all of this data can be exported from Batch via an API.
Yeah, and can easily be re-imported in any like business intelligence tools. I mean, we have dozens of integration with clients, feeding that data inside Metabase or Power BI or Looker is something the team in which Leah sits delivers on a weekly basis. All of that data is easily exportable, and we have APIs for that, absolutely.
Maybe if I can just add on that, and you alluded to it, Simon,
Yeah.
but of course we talk about the activation part, but you need to monitor the efficiency of those activation parts. So when it comes to composer activation on site or scenarios triggered in Batch, both Piano obviously and Batch have a native integration with Piano Analytics. So you would be able to monitor the performance of everything you do with Composer and with Batch directly in the Piano Analytics interfaces.
Cool. Thank you, Vincent. There's a really cool question from Frosina. You mentioned a publisher in Germany that has more than one newspaper. How do they manage the setup in Batch with multiple applications and websites? So can we go back to the demo for this? Maybe Leah and James, because we've actually released earlier this year a new Batch feature called Projects. It's very powerful and lets you group inside the same project many different assets, different mobile apps, websites. That was part of the major release of earlier this year. And I think it'd be cool if we showed the audience how we manage this, because that was a big topic, and it's an even bigger topic for media clients that manage large network of apps and websites. Do you want to take this one, James or Leah?
Do you want me to take it, Leah? You can keep the screen open and I can talk through what you're showing in the view. Cool. So I would say, have in mind this is a demo account in terms of how it works, but what you're seeing here, the batch store at the top is the main account. And then underneath each of those are projects. So the projects could be each of the different publishers. So if you've got 10 different publishers, you would have a line for each underneath. So each each brand can be completely separated from the other. So if you want to think about like user permissions, having editorial teams only have access to one publication, then all of that can be controlled from this interface. So it's designed to be able to support multiple business units, different brands inside of one interface.
Cool. Thank you, James. Maybe we can also go to the campaigns tab and showcase how we're able to deliver one, for example, push message across multiple different channels. Would be a cool thing to show, I guess. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. So here, what you can see on the screen, this is our omni-channel push builder. So what you're able to do is select each of the channels that you wish to engage with. So let's say you want to send out a push across every channel, iOS, Android, web push, all at the same time. The way that the dashboard is constructed, so you select the channels at the top, you then include your targeting criteria below. So let's say if you're a global media publisher, but you only want to target one country, you could select that from the drop-down box. All of the piano events that are being imported into the platform, so they would come under what we have here as the advanced segmentation. So we could go and add a condition. So as an example use case, if you wanted to target users whose subscription expired in the next 30 days, you could build all of those campaign rules in this interface just here. And then if you scroll down a little further, this is our rich notification builder. So here you can construct your message, add any dynamic tags, which is like first name, subscription end dates, promotional names, coupons, etc. It's very flexible what you can do here. And then what you're also able to do is add media, send a test, preview across all of the different channels. And if you're building a campaign which is to go out in multiple languages as well, we have the ability inside of the batch interface. So you select your default language. So let's say, for example, it's English. Then the next language, the push could be composed in French. You could then add German, Spanish, Italian, etc. What happens is you're creating one campaign, but then when it's sent to the user, Batch will detect based upon the language of the device which message to show. So you create one campaign which can cover all of those languages as well.
Yeah, maybe if I can add on it, Frosina, I know your question especially directed at Batch, and thank you, James, for showing this, but that's also a good show about the way that both Piano and Batch understand the publishing industry. A lot of our customers, if not all of our customers, have multiple titles, multiple devices and apps and web. And of course, when you deploy such campaign, you don't want to do it one by one because it would be unmanageable in terms of scalability. So also on the Piano side, you have the ability to build global experience that you can deploy in all or some of your parameter, global templates as well. So again, I think it's a nice underlining of the way that we understand the publishing industry together, providing such capabilities both on the Piano and the Batch side.
Awesome, thank you, Vincent. Maybe James and Leah. So something that is not available yet inside the Batch Piano integration, but that we plan to have, maybe for earlier next year, is the ability to automate also in-app messaging based on paywall events. So I think it'd be cool because we still have 70 people in line. So for as long as you will be online, we will carry on with the demo, maybe up until 12:15. But something we haven't shown is how we build in-app messaging inside Batch for mobile apps. I think it'd be cool to give a glimpse of how it looks like, because this will be also something very, I think, efficient and effective once we're able to connect this with Piano data, because the ability to win back readers while they are browsing inside the app with the different formats we have will be very, very powerful. So maybe James and Leah, if you want to take us back to the dashboard.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll show. So for those who don't know what an in-app message is, an in-app message is something that is just like a message that pops up inside of your mobile app. So it's not like a push where the user needs to opt in to receive it. All of your audience has the ability to receive the in-app message. So the way that it can be constructed inside a batch is you decide who you want to target. So there could be like a trigger-based event that occurs. So similar to the win-back use case inside of the app, if the user goes to the to start the checkout but they don't complete, we could use that as a trigger event to actually display the in-app message within inside of the app. So those events will be showed below. We can add a cancellation. So if the user does complete the checkout, this in-app message can be stopped. And then below, what we have inside a batch is quite a rich ability to build in-app messages. So to construct your own themes and templates and customize it based upon your preferences. So in the view here, we're just showing like an example of a small pop-up that could show as part of the in-app message, but you have the ability to customize the title, add the body. In the theme within Batch, you can customize the color so they're matching the style of your application. And what's powerful as well is so the buttons that are available, we have some pre-configured or set options which you can leverage. So like, for example, if the user is to click dismiss, you could actually use that as a retargeting action in future to send another in-app message or even a push notification to that user. There's another use case that we often see as well is around re-opting in your mobile audience. So you're able to segment and target in real time users that aren't opted in for push notifications. So you give them a reason to learn about the breaking news or latest stories based upon the content and category they're looking for. And then what we're also able to do is dynamically pull through actions on the button. So let's say, for example, if you have like a free trial as part of or a subscription or coupon code available, you can dynamically pull that through onto the button as well. So if you've got a coupon code to be copied through to the checkout process to try and convert this user, you can add that as well. So the quick summary is we have quite a powerful in-app capability where you can customize the look and feel all within the interface in a few clicks.
Do you want to go to the in-app message builder really quickly? I think is always an interesting part of the product to showcase as well.
Cool. So if you go to the themes, so these are the different themes that we have available. So if we go to create one of these, you're able to select the style, so whether it's light, dark, the theme, color. And then once you've decided that based upon the style of your app, if you go through then to the next stage, you can then customize the look and feel. So whether there's an image, there's a header, the title, body, whether there's one or two buttons that are available, whether the close button, so the dismiss button is there as well. So you have full control to decide how this looks for your team.
Cool, awesome, James. There's a new question from Guylaine from BRACH, which I'm sensing will be hopefully the next customer to use the Batch piano integration live. The question is, hi, if we integrate both piano and Batch, I imagine you will also share client examples of templates, triggers, and best practices so that as editors, we save time and not restart from zero. I mean, the simple answer is obviously yes, Guylaine. I mean, you've been working with us for quite some time, so you know support and customer success is part of our DNA. I would argue that for the Batch plus piano use cases, well, we are as you see now, building them as we go with first few clients using the integration live, and hopefully some of them will let us and want to experiment with us. So we'll be able to come up with the best performing campaign and templates and use cases, and then what we usually do is we share those with our clients so that they can save time and re-implement very quickly the best performing one. So when are you going live, Guylaine, with Batch and piano is the question. Hopefully soon. Thanks for the question. Vincent, is there anything you March 24? Excellent. We'll take you up on that. Is there anything else you want to? Because we've been talking a little bit Batch, but we know piano is a very very broad platform as well.
No, sure. No, I just want to react on what Gillian says, and us and our customer, the best way to learn how to use the software in an innovative way is through our customers, and that's also why we organize each year that event that you will be sponsoring, that is Piano Academy next month. And those moments, both on stage and during presentation, is where you can exchange freely from publisher to publisher that are non-competing, because it's a European event and you can find several publishers, but you don't directly compete with. It's a very healthy place to exchange what people are doing, what people are planning on doing. And there is usually all the publishers come back home with a lot of inspiration and too many ideas to fit into the roadmap. So it's also a very good way to get inspiration about our common customer that will be on stage and in the audience as well.
Cool. Thanks, Vincent. I'm sharing the link to the Piano Academy if by any chance anyone in the audience hasn't heard of it. Please register and meet us there. Stefan Rickley has a heretical question. We will bear with you. But what are the shortcomings of Batch in comparison to an established industry giant like Salesforce Marketing Cloud? Well, it's a really good question. So there's different ways to answer that, but I mean, one simple way is that Batch is a modern version of what we call the first generation marketing clouds. I would say the major differentiation for us is rewinding to that slide, the way we onboard data. The first generation marketing clouds onboard data in a fairly static way. We onboard data real time. We're receiving more than 2 billion live events each day onto the platform, which lets our client run real-time use cases. For example, what James just showed us, the in-app messaging product is not something, for example, that can be offered by a product like Salesforce Marketing Cloud, because you need to be able to receive the data in a few milliseconds if you want to be able to trigger an in-app messaging, for example, a few minutes or a few pages after a user has done X or Y action. So our clients clients that we've had clients migrate from marketing cloud to Batch specifically for those differentiators. We do support channels that are not supported. We talked about web push notifications. We have an inbox notification product as well. And also we have prepackaged integrations that are pretty unique. The one we're showcasing today with Piano, I think we're the only customer engagement platform in the world offering something like this. So yeah, I mean, there's I'm not saying these are bad products. They're really strong, powerful products, but they correspond to some specific use cases, and we're able to deliver on others. So it's a long discussion, and I will follow up with you on this one. But thanks for asking. And if you wanna, I see you're typing. I'll take Nicole's question. Okay, thanks, Stefan. But yeah, I'll follow up with you on this because we obviously have a lot of material on how we differentiate from different type of competition. Okay, we're nearing noon. Should we take maybe two or three more questions and then we'll wrap up? Going to Nicole's question. Hi, if you don't have the Batch application, how much would this add-on cost, or in general, how much does it cost? So it's a good question. So Batch in itself is not free, but the integration for now is free. We're still in the phase where we're in the innovation phase of the integration. We spent a long time building it. Now it's being rolled out to customers, and our goal for the next 1 or 2 quarters is to get as many customers live with this integration to showcase the great benefits of it. So it's going to be free for the next 1 or 2 quarters. It might become a paid add-on at some point, but for now, if you're using Batch and Piano and you want to activate it, please reach out because there will be no additional cost. And And then the BRACH platform, similarly to the piano platform, is a SaaS product with a business model that I'm not going to detail right now, but it's fairly classical, licensing and support costs, and obviously comes with its own specific pricing. Thank you, Nicole, for asking the hard, tough questions. All right. I think we're nearing the end of the session. I'm not seeing any more questions. So I think we're going to wrap up. I'm going to extend a massive thank you to James and Leah for the demo today. A massive thank you to Vincent as well for joining us on this webinar. Thank you to everyone who came and joined us today. You will receive all of the slides. You will receive the replay. We have shared in the chat the link to the Piano Academy. It's going to be a massive event. We're expecting more than 700 media experts coming from all over Europe and actually all over the world. So we hope to see you there. It's going to be great. If you have any consulting needs around BRACH and piano, please reach out to Oliver Norman in the chat from InDigital, great partner, London-based partner. And we hope to see you soon in 3 weeks at Piano Academy. And thanks everyone for being online with us today. Have a great day. Have a great lunch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone.